Michelia in this incarnation. Well, I am here today to remind you that we are experimenting tensions in the sky these days. We have, in first place, the square between Venus and Saturn in Pisces. Then we have the square between the Sun and Saturn in Pisces, and we have the square between Mars and Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. All this energy, all of this energy is pushing us to being more, much more presence, to do a refinement of this practice. Of course, being in presence is not only for this moment, but for the whole path, for life. But when we are experimenting these tensions, well, this pushes us to to be at this present moment, to redirect our energy in the best way that we can, to align our mind, because we have a lot of planets in Gemini too. So well, the square between Venus and Saturn is perfecting tomorrow, June 8th, and this could show us, the parts of ourselves that we have to attend with consciousness, that we have to give more love, the parts of ourselves that are not making us feel valuable. Or in the case of Gemini, we are coming from a new moon in Gemini. So for many people, this is, a beginning, and many people could experiment this with this pattern of self-exigency, excessive self-exigency, which is a polarity of Saturn that could prevent them to give a step to build whatever thing they are called to build right now, or to assume a direction, because I don't know enough. This could be, a dialogue of planets in Gemini in this tension with Saturn. I don't know enough, I don't have enough information, or this kind of things. So it is important to give a space, to make mistakes every time that we are developing something, that we are building a structure, and giving a space to embrace our shadows. Because through mistakes, we learn a lot. I, in fact, did videos specifically talking about that, because I think mistakes are a very important part, and we cannot avoid making mistakes, in fact. We are imperfect humans, perfect, imperfect humans. So, well, this it is very important to take in account. And other polarity that could be linked with Saturn, with tensions with Saturn, is the pressure, to feel the pressure that we have to do many things at the same time, with planets in Gemini, that we have to carry on many responsibilities, the pressure, of all of that. So that's why being in the present moment gives us this space to breathe in peace, and to give, step by step, to develop this building, this thing that we are building, with Saturn there. And also, other thing that I wanted to comment is that I've been reading about neuroscience, because I like how, they are confirming many things that in the spiritual world, to put it in some way, have been discovered a long time ago. And well, there are like certain words that are activating certain hormones, like cortisol, the hormones of stress, and other words like, peace, love, that can activate other kind of hormones and states. Through words we can deliver this alert state in the body, and we can also change it. And in other video before, I commented how our brain, functions in relation, the words that we are emitting to the outside, and the words that we emit to the inside, the inner dialogue activates the same place of our brain. So with all these planets in Gemini, we could have the tendency to return to the automatic pilot, to overthink things, to generate confusion or chaos in relation with the direction that we have to assume, these kind of things. So at the same time, they are, giving us the opportunity to put more attention in the ways we are operating with our rational mind, to come back to the present. Precisely. Presence is everything, The more I walk in this path, the more I agree with that. So then I wanted to talk a little bit of the square between Mars and Pluto. This is something that I mentioned in the video of the energies of the week, but we have to understand that Mars is this planet that you know, uh, put this energy available in order to initiate things or to take action for our own desires. But also, when in a square or in a tension with Pluto, the instinct of survival could be very activated too, because there is certain threat outside, that could take the form of a situation or whatever thing, and this is about facing those fears to recover our power, the power of being aligned with the divinity inside of us. That is the kind of power that I am talking about. It is not about control, it is not about anything of those things. Because well, that actually is not the power. That is the ego trying to control. That is the ego, fighting back the things that are happening. And this could be a tendency, anger because we could feel disempowered by certain situations, could be an experienced link with the square between Mars and Pluto. So those moments, I think it is very important to not judge the anger, to find a way to channel that anger, to find a way to channel that energy without, again, judge it, and coming back to presence in order to recognize where we have to put the energy at this present moment. And that way we regain our power. We regain back. Um, so, well, this is part of the energy of the next days. So I wanted to comment this for you to stay to take it in account. Well, family, I am ending the video here. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.